Hey everyone, Caront here, welcoming you back to Wild Arms. In the last episode, we visited the village of Malama and picked up some stuff, spoke with a bar owner who gave us access to the Guardian Temple, and then went through that temple where we met up with 3 different Guardians who zipped us off to, well, pretty much the middle of nowhere, and did give us a little bit of advice to help us along. We also got our first chance to look at the Quarter Knights, who are going to be some of our main villains in the game. Now, when we left off, we had gotten 3 new runes. Let me go ahead and show them to you, because for the most part, this is the first time we've really gotten many of them. So we've got the Earth rune, Fire, and Wind, which are the runes of Gardajeff, Moagalt, and Fengalon, respectively. Now, given that the Earth rune raises vitality and defense, you see the Fire rune raises strength and attack, so I want to give that to Jack. And then Cecilia's got the Water rune, which I don't really want to replace the Water rune with either of these because ultimately I want to up her magic, so I'm going to keep her as it is. And then you've got Rudy, who you see it increases his response or his vitality and defense. I'm going to lean toward vitality and defense simply because the Wind rune doesn't really up his response terribly much. Now, you also probably saw that we got the Summon Guardian Force, which actually will allow you to use the Guardians in battle if you get 2 Force points ready. First off, before we show that off though, let's go into Baskar Village, which is in essence where the Guardians wanted us to go. Now, moving around Baskar, you can see pretty quickly the motif here is more of a Native American. Instead of Adelheid with the castle and all of the sort of medieval look to it, this is very much Adobe Southwest American sort of a motif. And we'll see this is very much a back to the land culture, as we'll see as we explore it. But first, let's buy stuff. All right, let's see. What do you have to sell here? Oh, good lord. Okay, we've got new armor. Well, given that I just got new stuff from the Guardian Shrine, or from the Llama, excuse me, I'm not going to really buy stuff just yet. Now, the one exception I will make will be to buy the Magus Robe for Cecilia. Again, just because she needs a defense first off, but also because of the mystic element to it. And I'll go ahead, since I just bought that, I'll equip it and I'll go ahead and show you guys the mystic on it once we get out of the menu here. And she's also got the prism stick as well, but I don't have enough money. So let's see if I can sell a couple of things to get that ready. Let's see, Rudy's bandana. Those are both hers. So I guess there's not really much else I can sell. Yeah, I'm kind of out of luck right now, I guess. Oh well, it's not going to be a big deal, but I will go ahead and post the mystic for that as well, so that you can see, you see both of them in that illustration, so you'll have an idea of what they do, although I don't have the money to buy that right now. Oh well. Anyway, go ahead and move through, and if you talk to this guy here, you can update, or you can get more bullets for your arm. Excuse me, sorry, I thought he was an update guy, but we didn't actually use it in the Guardian Temple, so I didn't need to replace it. Alright, so you move around here, and as I mentioned, very much of a Southwestern Native American sort of look to it. Okay, and you do see here that this is a very different style of Guardian worship. It's a little bit of a subtle difference, I guess, and I think we'll run into either an NPC or the main guy that we're supposed to talk to here to be able to, who would tell us the difference. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we'll be talking to the chief in just a minute. He's going to be the main guy that we'll be concerning ourselves with here in this village. I don't remember, though, as I mentioned, if he explains the difference between the different styles of Guardian worship that we see between Adelheid and Baskar, or if it's somebody else who does it, but we will see that at some point. All right, and if you want to buy items, you can buy items here, but I'm pretty good to go as far as that, so I'm not really going to worry about taking care of that just yet. Just go through. It's not a large area here. Sure, if you insist. Yeah, okay. Okay, keep that Zephyr in mind. The Zephyr in this game is one of the actually Guardian forces that we could end up getting if we play our cards right. Alright, nice. Nah, I don't want to save just yet. Alright, anyway. No. I want to check barrels, not talk to you. This is the chief's house. I'll go in there last because, again, this is exactly where we want to go when we finish things up. Okay. Well, I thought it might be the chief who mentions this, but it's this guy. Okay. The Baskarians, it mentions returning to nature. Outsiders at Caront Abbey, basically everybody else, emphasize coexistence with nature. That, as I mentioned, it's subtle. It's not something that you would see straight off as far as, hey, this makes a huge difference. But that is in essence the difference in their philosophy. The Baskarians are very much a communal people, a lot like you saw with many of the Native American tribes back before the Europeans showed up and, well, sort of changed everything. The rest of the world, on the other hand, is more modernized, where there is a belief in the Guardians, but it's not nearly as deeply rooted or as fundamental, hey, I can buy that staff now, as you would see with the people here in Baskar. Okay, you saw the earlier NPC mention the L Pyramid, and then you've got this guy talking about it as well. We've already seen that ill with Jack's journey into the ruins, and it's talking about the ill here as magical beings who lived in harmony with nature. So in essence, they were much more Baskarian than they were the rest of basically the rest of the human race, I guess. And the game keeps talking about these ill as having been gone and distant and what have you, which is true. We'll see that potentially change as we go through, but for now, the L are simply, in essence, a force of legend. There we go. Okay, I was about to wonder if I was smashing crates for no good reason. Let's see. Okay, nothing there. Alrighty, hello y'all. Okay, well, what in the world is Mom worrying about? Okay, that's another aspect of Baskar that you don't really see that emphasized too terribly much in the game, but that is also another aspect of their existence, is that they are pacifists. Part of the reason that they had embraced their exile, they were exiled in force, but part of the reason that they embraced it was because they were more of a pacifist group. They didn't really embrace warfare or a lot of martial conflict, as you would see, perhaps with others. I mean, we don't see that too terribly emphasized as well, or all that much. But the Baskarians chose to very intentionally embrace a life of pacifism. Stone circle to the north. We'll go ahead and say yes, because you'll see that as we make our way north to Mount Zenom, which is the next place we need to go. Okay. And you note the Baskars use it for basically, to some degree, divination. You also see them mention the new moon, which will come into play in the story much later. In essence, there is in Filgaia an old moon and a new moon. The old moon is considered to be more trustworthy, while the new moon is less so. Okay, now he mentions Mount Zenom, which is where we're going to be going next. Okay, the mountain guardian who sleeps there holds a piece of an evil soul, i.e. a piece of mother, basically. Okay, I think we've pretty much finished touring around Baskar, except for this area all the way up to the north, which we'll visit that in just a minute. So let's go ahead and talk to the chief down here and see what he has to say. But first, let's rest, because I forgot to in Malama, so shame on me. Alrighty, so let's see if we got anything here. Alright, Chief, what you got to say? I've long forgotten my name. Wow, okay, great start. But I am the leader of the Baskar people. I've foreseen your arrival in my dreams. Listen, warriors of the Guardians. As you know, our mortal enemy, the demon race, is approaching. They are after the Guardian statue in the Zenom Mountains. In order to conquer Filgaia, They must destroy the 3 guardian statues that hold the 3 broken pieces of their queen's heart. During the war 1,000 years ago, the Demon Queen's heart was torn into 3 pieces and sealed in 3 separate guardian statues. They are planning an all-out attack after the revival of their queen. Zenom Mountain is to the north of here. Go, warriors of the Guardians, and protect the Guardian Shrine. I believe that you are the callers of Zephyr, the west wind of hope. Go visit the Wind Caller's altar. The guard there should be of some help. And the Wind Caller's altar, in essence, was the area that I just showed you that's up here. This is it. Okay. Your party was summoned by Zephyr. Step up to the Wind Caller's altar and summon the West Wind. Alright, so we can get the West Wind, right? No, guess not. One thing I will say though is you walk up there and then that guard immediately trots up and said, "Oh, nah, sorry, no West Wind for you." Which, yeah, at least you could have given us a moment to hope, I guess. Zephyr is the name of hope that people have long forgotten. Whoops, I didn't quite think that was going to come up just yet, but hey, there you go. Gardajef, Moagalt, Fengalon, Stoldark. The Guardians' names are the real names for earth, fire, wind, and water, which we humans have long forgotten. Not to mention they'd be a bit of a mouthful too. It is not because of the battle with the demons. It is us humans who are responsible for the weakening of the Guardians. Come back again. The wind will answer if you become the true caller of Zephyr. So, no soup for us. Okay, well, we've pretty much finished everything out. Everything that we need to do in Baskar Village. So let's go ahead and head out and make our way north to Mount Zenom. Now, head up here, and you'll notice as we head north, you see this stone circle that they were talking about. They use this as a sort of divination for some of their events. This will in fact come into play in a side quest, but that will be basically right at the end of the game. So it'll be a little bit before we get to that, but when we do, I assure you it will be worth the wait. So head up north, and there is Mount Zenom. And as you might imagine from a mountain, it's a rather snowy place. Alright, well thanks, I'm glad you have faith in us. Now, the first thing we see here is in essence a puzzle. Just push the statue there and voila. Kind of makes you wonder why nobody did that before. Anyway, so head up north here, and in essence we're going to be cave trolling. So I'll go ahead and run through, and we should be running into enemies pretty soon. I say that as I'm running into enemies, go me. We have an ambush. So we're going to get smacked around by some mushrooms. Great. Okay, well these are Shriekers. Now, the Shriekers, as you might imagine, I'm going to go ahead and toss some fire at them so that they can feel my, I guess, toasty wrath. These guys aren't too much to deal with, although if you're like me and you don't have a whole lot of money, so you haven't bought the very latest equipment, you might find yourself at a little bit of a disadvantage if you're not careful. So, given that I don't have exactly the latest and greatest stuff since I'm not grinding, I might have to be a little careful here. But fortunately, they're not too terribly stringent in regards to HP expectations, so it's not going to be a huge deal, really. Just as long as they don't hit the rather weak Cecilia. Speaking of which, I guess I should go ahead. Okay, yeah, she is equipped, sorry. Alright, so moving on through here, you see, holy crap, a bunch of handpan treasure chests, which we will get to in a little bit. Alright, what do we have here? Oh, not bad. Okay. And, oh. I believe we should have new enemies here. Yes, the tiny edges, or the wascoey wabbits, as I guess I'll call them. So, again, not too much to deal with there. I would consider using Sonic Buster if they were all three together in a group, but they're not, so darn it. Oh well, anyway, go ahead and take these guys out, and these are even weaker, I believe, in regards to HP than the Shriekers were. And yeah, Jack can take him out in one hit. Rudy should be able to as well, I think. although Cecilia is faster than Rudy. No, don't hit my healer. Darn it, I need her to heal stuff. Although, wowee, that best luck for her is working out really well. 2 critical hits in a row, that's... you don't see that much unless you're using the small flowers to up your luck. And it turns out the Wascally Wabbits are faster than all 3 of us, I guess. But anyway, not too much to deal with, and there you go. Unfortunately, they don't give a whole lot in regards to experience or money, so if you're looking to get money and all that together, those are pretty much the last guys you'll want to turn to. Oh, good, lucky card, sweet. Okay, let's see, let me go ahead and choose Cecilia, get her healed up here. All right, I think these are the only guys we'll run into out here. Let's see, Okay, just more tiny edges, so again, we've already pretty much dealt with them. Now the blue circlet is a left-hand item that nullifies paralysis. We haven't really dealt with paralysis that much yet, we've more dealt with disease and poison, so in regards to equipping those items, I'm not really going to bother just yet. Alright, this way. Okay, I had some more Shriekers visit, so not really a big deal there. Alright, so toast stuff, and then we go upstairs to burn more stuff. I guess Jack's inherent pyromania comes out to play here. I believe those handpan chests should be close by. Alright, had some more tiny edges, and Cecilia leveled up, which is always nice. Alright, this is... I don't think have we seen those before? Let's see. No, we haven't yet. Okay, this is the secret sign, and what it does is it reduces your fast draw, or the MP that your fast draws use. Now, you will get a number of these as you go through the game, and there will be a point at which we can get pretty much as many of them as we want, but I would recommend you hang on to them. Don't use them immediately because there are a few fast draws that you'll really want to use these on. Alright, so, let's go down here and go. Okay, just had more tiny edges there. So let's go ahead and head into the cave here. And we've got a little ways that we can go in this one. So we've got a couple of directions we can take. But the first thing we need to do is go down here and fight some Shriekers. And, oh yeah, push the statue. That will open up the way north, so let's go ahead and gallivant up there and see what we can find. Where we find more Shriekers. And I'm starting to get a little low on health, so let's go ahead and heal up. One thing I will mention is I haven't actually done any of the Summon Guardians yet, because we've got the 3 new Guardians in our inventory. I generally don't find myself actually using those in battle too much, but what I'll probably end up doing is put them in an end slate so you can see the summons. They're really quick, so I may actually just go ahead and use them in battle. But you don't really, with a few exceptions, which I'll note as we go through the game. Okay, whenever I get the chance, I may show them in an end slate, or actually I just thought I might end up showing them in the boss battle coming up. More Shriekers, by the way. So these, you'll get a bunch of different runes, and I'm not really going to equip a lot of them. I may do so just so I can show you guys the summons. As it turns out, there are a number of Guardians and a bunch of summons we could end up doing. Okay, it looks like we've got the new enemy here, the Hobgoblins. And they are basically palette swaps of your average goblins, so just go ahead and deal with them as you will. They're not terribly difficult, but obviously they're more difficult than their previous goblin-y fellows, and they also like to counterattack a lot, as you saw there. So you might want to be careful in regards to if you can't kill them off immediately, because if you're low on health and you start trying to go after them, they could very well make you pay. So be careful, just make sure that you're hitting them hard enough, you should be good to go. Like so, and fortunately, they gave us lots of money, which is always good. Alrighty, now we've got the handpan chests down here, so just take care of them as you will. Do have to be a little bit careful about some of those diagonals though, otherwise it'll end up coming back to bite you. Alrighty. and we have ourselves a little bit of a scene, which you actually could miss if you don't go down here. Whew, that was close. I couldn't control my body for a second. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. If we hit one of those rocks, we're goners. So if I use my sword from higher up, it'll always do more damage? Well, I wouldn't say always, but it wouldn't hurt. Maybe it's worth a try. Ching! We have another fast draw hint, which I'll try to get in the battles upcoming. I will go ahead... Okay, sorry about that. Some shriekers interrupted my statement. I will go ahead and mention this fast draw actually is one of my favorite fast draws, especially for early in the game. I ended up getting it in the second time I tried to learn it. It's Meteor Dive. And you see a diving attack for a single enemy. This Meteor Dive is pretty powerful. So if you did want to go ahead and use your fast draws, or your secret signs rather, for your fast draws, that is one of those that I would recommend you use them for. Alright, Jack gets to be Pyromaniac again here. And I believe in this one, there's a switch under one of these. So we get to do a little sleuthing, I think. Alright, we had more hobgoblins there, and Rudy leveled up. So now he is part of the 13 club, although poor Cecilia is still stuck at level 11. Like I said, these levels don't really balance out particularly equally in regards to what all happens. Yeah, there we go. There's our switch. So we can just gallivant up here and head up the stairs, where we find more stuff to burn. Okay, had more tiny edges there, and one of the things that's really irritating about those guys is they have a fatal attack that is successful an alarming amount of the time. So in fact, I nearly lost the game. I almost lost the party doing that. Cecilia was the only one who survived those attacks, and I had to rebuild the party from there. But we've gone through Mount Zenom, fought lots of enemies, and picked up a few things, so next time on Wild Arms, we're going to finish up this place and see if we can save the Guardian statue from being, well, de-statued, I guess. So, thank you guys for joining me, and I will see y'all later.